everybody, this is Angela Savage, the daughter of IndyCar driver Swede Savage. It's time to watch stories from motorsports. My buddy, Doug Kenny, loves to share the journey of people in racing, and he is an amazing dude. Drivers, owners, fans, and team members, watch the SFM podcast.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny from Stories from Motorsports. I'd like to thank my buddy Josh Maid for the YouTube work he did years ago that inspired me to create this platform. I'd like to thank my buddy Victor Sifton for convincing me to get back into it after my hiatus from 2017 to 2019. I have a very special treat for you all today with an amazing journey from an amazing racing figure. Drivers, start your engines. Yeah, so when you're saying that, are you pretty much saying that you didn't really consider yourself much of a celebrity status? You were there to just do a job during a time that was pretty big?
Yeah, I was definitely not a celebrity that I know of. I was a new guy in the truck series, just trying to run well and not crash, because that's what you have to do to get started. Particularly not crash, honestly. A lot of people crash a lot when they get their first opportunities at one of the top 3 NASCAR divisions. The team was 25th in points when I took over in May. Third week of May, I believe it was. It was, Mansfield the week after the Charlotte week race, and I got them up to 10th in points. So I was happy with what we did. The team was happy. We just could not secure a full-time sponsor to run a full schedule the next year. And then if you remember, Bill Davis, they used some other drivers to kind of get through one more year, and then the team completely shut down, unfortunately. So I guess I kind of caught the tail end of that operation in general.
Yeah, I understand. But you got to be proud of a pole, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I said, especially with that crowd, like I said, Rick Crawford, Mike Skinner, Johnny Sprague,
Jack Sprague,
Jack Sprague, Travis Quapple was there, in the Roush truck. Roush was running like 4 trucks that year. Eric Darnell was really fast, and he was a person I'd raced with a lot growing up in late models, and he was a strong contender every week. And of course, my 2 teammates were super hard to beat, Mike Skinner and Johnny Benson. And Mark Martin ran any truck race that was competing with Cup Series. Mark Martin was in it, so I had to race with Mark Martin a lot, which obviously everybody knows he's a hard one. And Kyle Busch was moonlighting, and with some of the races he was still a Chevrolet driver, so he was running Billy Ballou's truck once in a while when the trucks were competing with Cup Series. And then Clint Boyer and Kevin Harvick were both moonlighting in some of Kevin Harvick's trucks as well. So it was, besides having all those old school original hardcore truck series guys, you had almost any time it was a companion event with the Cup Series, you had like 3 or 4 top level Cup drivers that were moonlighting over in the truck series, because they all I think just thought truck racing was fun and easy, and it probably was to them, so they liked to just jump in and beat on us anytime they could, basically.
Yeah, for sure. And the same with the road course ringers. You had guys at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve like Nick Janssen, and you wouldn't hear his name these days, and Andy Pilgrim.
Yep, that's right.
There's a lot of, drivers going into other series and all that,
Yep. Yeah, now it's a lot different now because NASCAR has made rules about Cup Series drivers competing in the other 2. And they've also changed the cars so much that there's no benefit for the team to really run the other 2 series, because none of it translates to the Cup car. So they've definitely changed it a lot. There's not nearly as much crossover nowadays as there was, then.
Yeah. So what was driving for CHS Racing like?
have been, I think, just one ARCA race in early '07. Just did the Lakeland short track race. That was just a one race deal. Got crashed at that race, I believe, so not really much came out of that one.
Okay. What's ARCA like compared to NASCAR competition?
At that time, you may remember ARCA had massive car count, but there was a huge disparity from the front of the ARCA field to the back. So there was a lot of cars, but it, I guess in a way it was definitely, if you had, as long as you had a halfway decent car, particularly body and engine, I mean, it wasn't very hard to run in the top 10, whereas, NASCAR Truck Series was significantly more difficult, because everybody, I would say the top 20 trucks were pretty respectable, where in ARCA, the top 5 to 8 cars were probably had a chance of winning.
Got it. When did you go the sports car route? Was it right after Bill Davis's team shut down, or was it the year before?
Yeah, it was 2008 when I got hooked up with Detroit Speed, and started working there, as an engineer / test driver, and helping do product design and working in the R&D, and kind of ended up starting a motorsports kind of department there that I was put in charge of, which involved building, preparing cars, and driving the cars as well. And that, like I said, that kind of coincided with a lot of these production-based streetcar series that kind of started to come up at that time period and have gotten really popular now. And that's kind of what I'm still doing to this day with my own team and company, After Dark Speed.
I see. That's the name of it, After Dark Speed?
Yep, that's correct. Yep. If you go to AfterDarkSpeed.com, you can see all our Corvette product. After Dark Speed has Facebook and Instagram, where you can see product updates, racing results, where we're at. I just got back from Las Vegas 2 days ago, just got back on Tuesday from running in the Optima Ultimate Streetcar Invitational, which is a production-based streetcar competition that runs or coincides with the big SEMA show that they have out in Las Vegas.
Nice. Have you ever been to any Trans Am races?
Yep, I have been to quite a few of them. I have never raced in Trans Am, though.
It's a really fun series. I've watched one race in person, but it was only the TA2 race. I think it was the TA2 division.
Yep. Yeah, TA2 is really the division you probably want to be in. That's the most popular and I think most competitive. That's really kind of the flagship class that they have. The TA1 cars are actually faster, but they don't get a lot of cars, so the overall race isn't as exciting. The TA2 is kind of the big one there.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of why you see guys like Tony Ave, a big name in Trans Am, going into TA2, and then Boris said, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of teams, several teams. I'm on Cayuga Drive, in the Deerfield Race Park in Mooresville, and there's several TA2 teams, down the road from me. So it's pretty popular around here. In addition to, the NASCAR and short oval track racing as well.
Yeah. What's the most unusual thing in a good way that's happened in your racing career?
Really probably the general transition of getting into this production-based streetcar, sports car type, motorsports that I'm in now. That never really planned that, and it just kind of happened. But it turned out to be really good, from a career opportunity standpoint and a financial standpoint, as far as to be able to do motorsports for a living. It just kind of by pure luck and coincidence just probably got me going in the right direction and with the right people that coincided with what the popularity of motorsports was transitioning to in America. And didn't really realize it at the time, but the last 5 to 6 years I can really see it now, just seeing the crowds the attendance that we're getting at these events. At some of our races, we're getting more people than, Xfinity can get at one of their races. So, I mean, it's kind of eye-opening.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please hit like and subscribe if you did so, and please continue supporting our amazing guest. And everybody, we'll see you next time on SFM.
Hi, this is Ted Warner speaking. While the checkered flag is waved for this program, stay tuned for next week for the next episode of SFM. Thanks to Doug Kenny for what he does for motorsports.